Hey everyone, the name is Erik Thor, and in today's video, hey everyone, the name is Erik Thor, and in my previous video, I talked about how INFPs can be described using 4 different subtypes, unique variations within the INFP code, proving that the INFP is not one homogeneous type, but that there are many different kinds of ways of being an INFP. In today's video, we're talking about the INFP Individualist subtype. Dominated by feeling and perceiving, the 2 strongest preferences of the INFP is their personal freedom and self-expression. Because of this, I call this type the individualist. This type is a true kaleidoscope for the INFP, colorful in their personalities. They tend to be very expressive, very much about speaking and acting in accordance with their inner compass. When you are strong in feeling and in perceiving, you tend to excel in decision making, primarily making decisions based on your gut. And so, if you find it hard to make decisions as an INFP and often spend a lot of time in philosophical quandaries and thought, that suggests that you're probably not a feeling perceiving type. The feeling perceiving dominant subtype is also somebody that is going to be very much more expressive than average. You'll find a little bit more extroverted sensing here. You'll find somebody that likes to be on stage, somebody that likes to speak out for themselves. An introvert, but still, of course, not always an introvert, but somebody that likes to express their creativity and translate their creativity through everyday actions. The feeling perceiving subtype is all about living life to the fullest. Here you see somebody that would try to embody themselves and their thoughts and feelings into actions. And if you have a bad day, you want to try to live that out and do something about it. And if you feel like you are having a good day, you want to express that. You want to speak out and say how nice your day is. So in many ways, this is a type that is much more transparent and open than the average INFP. When you have a subtype, that doesn't mean that you change your type. You're still within this spectrum of introverts, intuitives, feeling and perceiving types. It just means that you have your own unique place within this. Feeling perceiving is a lot like aesthetic intelligence. Aesthetic intelligence is our ability to navigate and use our aesthetic sense of taste, our gut feeling to evaluate and say whether something is nice or whether something isn't nice, right? Here, we can tell what we think to be beautiful, what we find to be pleasant to look at, what we enjoy to hear, what we enjoy to do. And it's something that is lived through the present moment. Our aesthetic ability is very much about translating something that is constantly changing, because our sense of taste and our sense of beauty is constantly evolving and growing too. Here, the individual type is using this ability to master themselves through musical expression, artistic expression, writing, or through storytelling. I often find these individualist types to also make excellent reporters, because in some ways it's also about storytelling, telling the stories of people. Feeling perceiving is not exactly like introverted feeling. Introverted feeling dominant subtypes tend to be people that are much more introspective and more interpersonal oriented, but the feeling perceiving subtype is slightly in between, a little bit more open to other people, a little bit more curious about others. These INFPs make the storytellers and journalists of the people. They tell the stories of the local culture and community. They tend to often create and to have a lot of interest and curiosity for other people and what they do, and for other people's artistic expression too. And so you see them promoting people's storytelling in any form. They encourage you to speak out and to create and to express your creativity in an applied manner. You can also see a bit more of a spiritual inclination in this type, a bit more interest in following your gut or your inner voice, and often this inner voice can be perceived in a very spiritual manner. It can be something that you express and access through things like tarot readings or through some form of spiritual exercise. Yeah, the INFP Individualist subtype often uses intuitive means in a practical manner, and so they will often try to make interpretations based on, for example, these tarot cards or this astrology description, and they'll try to find a way to implement it and to reflect and connect it to something that's happening in their life right now. What is it I'm feeling? What is my story? Who am I? How can I use these messages to understand my life and what I'm supposed to do with my life. These are tools to access the power of the gut and intuitive wisdom, but it's also something that is very sensory in its nature, because the gut is, unlike pure intuition, a lot more active. It requires you to do something, and so it drives you out into the world. If you're an introvert but still finds yourself curious about the outer world, somebody that wants to go out, somebody that likes to put themselves out there, that likes the idea of being on stage, that likes the idea of expressing yourself in some form, these tools, this subtype might perfectly match you. It's just that you're still an introvert, right? That means you can still find it a bit uncomfortable or a bit scary to go out and to go and do these things. So perhaps you're a person that dreams of doing these things, but you haven't started doing it yet. Perhaps you're a person that likes to and often has a strong gut instinct, but still finds it hard to vocalize and verbalize what it is that you're thinking. Perhaps you're still a bit shy sometimes in groups. Perhaps you feel a bit socially anxious when you want to, and when you think something or feel something very strongly inside, but you don't know how to say it to everyone else or how to tell everyone else. So in that sense, often it's very important that you nurture and that you reflect on and hold on to that feeling of motivation and passion inside of yourself. Hold on to that feeling inside of yourself and use perceiving to, in a modest and open-ended fashion, express these things. Share openly and transparently how you're currently feeling, what you're currently thinking, or what your gut is telling you right now, and be open to that being possible to change, because the heart often does change and grow and mature over time, and what you felt in the first moment might, on the second day or third day, change to something different. But it's all about nuance, and aesthetics and color and aesthetic intelligence is all about seeing nuance, reflecting on the nuances of every day, and reflecting on how everything is transitory, everything is changing, everything is evolving, and so are you. So you have nothing to fear from trusting your gut and from listening to yourself here. It's a learning lesson. The more you listen to yourself, the more strongly you'll be able to perceive what it is that you want and what you feel, and the more easy it will be to make decisions that genuinely translate to a happier life. So all INFPs, no matter of their subtype, take heed on note of the INFP Individualist. This type is true inspiration for any INFP that seeks to put themselves out more, to express themselves more, and it's a recipe for individualism, for living a life in touch with yourself and your own inner compass. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like these videos, don't forget to check out patreon.com/Thor, where you can support my channel. See you all in the next video.